there is one thing that I have learned from making video games, it is that if I don't remind everyone that I'm making something, then nobody will remember that I'm making something, and even I might also forget that I'm making something, and I may end up wandering off to do something completely different for several years at a time. Anyway, here is what I did in this week. First of all, I might make this DLC into something other than a DLC. I'm a little bit worried about the discoverability if I make it and then I only release it as a small extension to a free game, so I thought, why not just make it into its own full thing? Of course, that means I also should put some extra effort into it too, I suppose, and seasoned veterans of game development will recognize this process as scope creep, but maybe it's acceptable in very small quantities, I don't know. Anyway, I'm not getting too wrapped up in setting ambitious long-term goals for this project just yet. I might return to some of the mini-games that I blocked out in like a few days each, but for now I'm just going to focus my attention on this exotics factory thing. To be honest, I'm getting deja vu from Voidling Assault. Or maybe it's PTSD. This week I've added some of the shoot-'em-up aspects, so this includes the Voidlings, a shiny new gun for the player, and also the fragments themselves are now vulnerable to damage. I also added a nice interface bar at the top to show some stats, namely the amount of energy and atoms that the player has collected as well as their health. These things will come in handy later when I get around to the next tricky part of the game that I still need to figure out, and that is the worker AI. See, I'm sketching out the requirements again and again, and I cannot get any closer to making it into the game. Most likely, I'm just gonna have to take a blind stab at it, and I'll end up with something that is gonna be terrible, but it'll be a starting place, and that's okay. With any luck, I'll be able to let you know in maybe another week how I did with that. I mean, if I really don't have anything new in the next 7 days, you have my permission to unsubscribe and refund all of my games. But thank you for watching, and hopefully I will make another one of these, because otherwise you and I will all surely forget that I was ever doing anything. Goodbye.